Good afternoon, Flosstube. My name is Mandy. Welcome to my channel all about cross stitch. Today is Friday, March 28th. My pronouns are she, her, and it's been a month. Actually, it's been more than a month. Yeah. So I had every intention of filming 2 weeks later after my last video. Like, I've been on such a really good schedule. I've got a lot to show today. I hope I don't end up talking way too fast. I'm on my lunch break and I've only got an hour. Well, I'm even under that just because of I didn't get started right at the time I punched out. So a lot to go over, limited time frame. So last video I was talking about doing a little bit of a crafty retreat at a place. It was like 40 minutes from here. It was me, my mom, my sister, and my best friend, Crystal. Found out over the weekend my mom wasn't feeling too good. By Monday, she decided, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go. We should have rescheduled. Yeah. The last full day we were there, so it was a Wednesday, I started getting a scratchy throat cough that I couldn't get to go away. Luckily, I had cough drops. I was sucking on those constantly. But by the time I got home, was checking out, leaving on Thursday, and by the time I got home, I was feeling like crap. I had no energy. So it was great being there, being able to craft. Definitely didn't want to get sick. So ended up, I'm assuming flu. Few days later, so we left on Thursday, Monday I think it was, Crystal actually went to her doctor, tested positive for influenza A. So I'm assuming we had the flu. Body aches, horrible cough, slept a lot, never had the congestion, so that's why, based off of symptoms, it definitely sounded more flu related, I guess. So it was a good time. I'm glad we got to go. I got stitching done. I did some diamond painting. I worked on my scrapbook, junk journal. I want to show that, but I'm gonna wait until another video for that, just because again, limited time frame, a lot to show. Stitching wise, I figured that I'll show another video because I know I've got a lot of other pages that I haven't shown, even outside of just what I did at that stitching retreat. So maybe we'll do just a little flip through, camera face down type of thing to see the whole thing. And maybe I'll post that as a separate little short or something. We'll see. What we have to show though, let's go ahead and dive in. Crafting, I've been crafting. Luckily, the weekend when I wasn't feeling so good, I did actually get a lot of stitching in. Might have gotten a little more stitching in then than I did actually at the retreat. Seems like that's the way it goes though. Bummer about the whole thing is that I ended up missing a big pinball tournament that my sister was hosting. That was a huge bummer. First one of hers that I had to miss, but not only did I not have the energy to do anything, I didn't want to pass anything on to anybody else. So last time, well, obviously since it's been so long since I filmed, I don't have this anymore. I did an artist trading card. Now this particular one was a swap done through Instagram. So Link is my homeboy, is the main account. Heather created a separate account. I think it's like Stitchy, Swap, and ATC with underscores underneath each of the words. Check her out. She posts, she does like actual stitching swaps where you have to finish the piece and such like that, smalls. But then she also does the ATCs. So check her out. She's fun. Always coming up with different ideas. I am signed up for another one. That one is a video games concept for that one. This particular one was Once Upon a Time. For some reason, anytime I kept trying to search for something small to stitch, I kept coming across Alice in Wonderland. I really enjoyed the Johnny Depp movie. But besides that, it's not like the cartoon version was something that I really watched growing up. But for some reason, I've really been pulled to the whole Alice in Wonderland story lately. And so I came up with, it's a bookmark that I found on Etsy that I just stitched Alice, because this thing has to be 2.5 by 3.5 inches. So size of a playing card. And so the whole bookmark had an entire, scene to it or whatever. I just stitched Alice. And then the really cool thing about it is that I found a playing card that had artwork of the White Rabbit and Alice. So I stitched Alice, cut her down, and tacked her over top of the artwork. Like this whole card theme. I recently bought a pack of like vintage playing cards from Etsy. And so it's just a whole bunch of random playing cards that I got in mind for doing ATCs. So, I mean, kind of kismet there that I chose Alice. And when I stitched her, I had no clue that I had this card in stock. I knew I had some like pretty floral ones that I was going to choose one from, but then I came across the White Rabbit. Had to go with that one. So I sent that out. I don't think I actually heard from the person, so hopefully they received it. Hopefully they like it. The one that I received in exchange, because these are not one to, like, you're not sending it to the same person that's sending you one. It's, all different kinds of. So this one came from Trina from Canada and Cinderella. And yeah, you can see that the shoe has a 12, I'm assuming. So I think it's the white that has the sparkly. And she said she found it it just says a free chart I found online. So, some washi tape and a cute little sparkly bow, and that is perfect. It's gonna look great in my little book. I've got a photo album that's a 4x6 photo album that I've just been tucking them in there. Okay, diving into my stitching. I ended up pulling this out 2 nights ago. So the gals that I have been doing some round robins with the last couple of years, 2 years ago we did an ink circles. Last year we did Carolyn Manning. This year we're running with an idea that started on a Michelle Bendy Twitch stream or something, of finishing each other's whips, kind of a thing, something that you just can't seem to finish. I created or started a piece that has been in my stash that, yeah, it's a whole thing. So this piece is a Jan Hicks. Jan Hicks creates Flora Graphica 2 for the hydrangea. So everything that, so this one belongs to Michelle, Main Moose Mama. She had everything done but the flowers, basically. Basically, I guess the instructions were to like stitch the flowers kind of willy-nilly, randomly, so that you don't get that stripy effect of highly variegated flosses. So these are the 2 floss colors of the flowers. These are extra scans, so but you can see that they're definitely really variegated. So if you stitch variegated flosses, there is no rules to how you stitch them, but the way you stitch is going to result in something different. If you do single X's, the half cross this way and then the other cross this way, you're going to I don't want to say lose variegation, but it's not going to be as stark as if you did single X's the entire time. Well, if you do single X's the entire time, you're definitely going to end up with a stripy look to it, which depending on the piece can, be fine. But to get some of this real variegation of that color, there's definitely kind of a random way to go about it. So here we go. So this was the portion that I stitched, just this purples and blues right there. Michelle had everything else stitched. There's gonna be one really big clump of flowers and then another small, but I just did that little. One of the floss colors has the stark So it's Bird Bath from their Cottage Garden Flosses. Has a pretty stark, like, baby blue that has a tendency of, it could have definitely gotten some stripiness to it depending on how you do them. So I'll show my back because I don't care. It is every which way. I most definitely did not stitch in any one direction. I did do individual crosses for the most part, but, you know, I didn't just all the way across, come back or whatever. You know, there were some times that I went diagonally, and so I hope it turns out, you know, with 2 other people stitching their ways as well. Hopefully it'll turn out really cool. So this is a beautiful piece. I've been following Michelle's stitching. I think she has a tendency of being monogamous, and she can bust some projects out. So beautiful stitching. So that is Hydrangea. And I forgot about having this one prepared. So the next piece that I'm going to share is actually a new start, since you would have seen it. It's not even the newest. I did start the Empyrean Cell from Forbidden Fiber Co. Let's see, and it pulled the newest drop. I am not caught up. How do I do this? I totally didn't even think about having this one open. So this is what the drop looks like so far. So we've got Sigale, which would be Zayden's dragon, and then I'm assuming that's Tyrion. And then we've got the school logo and the quote. And we've got a dragon without it, a rider without it. And we've got a Stardo scale. The lightning bolts are done for this particular side. So yeah, so the first portion, like when we ordered everything, we got the first drop, which was the whole quote that will say, a dragon without its rider is a tragedy, a rider without its dragon is dead. It's a big quote from the whole series. So the Empyrean Cell, 4th Wing from Rebecca Yarhouse. I did purchase the kit, and I knew there was something I was supposed to bring over. My sister ended up ordering the, there's a project bag from Forbidden Fiber that she surprised me with. We both ended up buying the floss and fabric from Forbidden Co. And she ended up surprising me with the project bag. But it's not over here. I forgot to grab it. So very sweet of her. Material, I went with 18 count. It's Feathertail, which is one of the species of dragons. I do have a dragon needle minder that it says, in a world of bookworms, be a book dragon. I ended up giving my sister a copy of that needle minder. I don't know, it's been a couple of years ago now, I think. So I've given her quite a few dragon needle minders that I only ended up having the one that I could find. So that is my Empyrean Cell. I have been so part of haul, I guess, is the floss and fabric from this. I don't have the flosses handy at the moment to show. Yeah, I guess I kind of do. I've got it kinda. Part of it's not on a skein. Well, a couple things are not on skeins. So we've got indigo. There we go. Real pretty blue. Midas Touch. Shadow. Great. Black Magic. So we got 2 of these 2 of the magic, and then also, again, because this is not on the thing still, collegiate is this, another blue. Those are very, very disorganized, which is not like me with these kind of flosses. Okay. This month has been heavy on the full coverage stitching. I really am not prepared. There is a challenge in the full coverage. No, it's not in full coverage. Closed Facebook group, Whip Warriors, of stitching on full coverage pieces. So stitch 1,000 stitches on the project that has the least amount of stitches done and working your way through. And I don't seem to have a picture of this, and now this isn't wanting to load. I really thought that I was a little more prepared than this. Especially for someone who keeps saying that they're on limited time frame. This next piece I did not actually post on Etsy. I bought it from Etsy. I haven't posted it on Instagram yet. I showed the fact that I had purchased this a while ago. I just hadn't started it yet. Here it is. I got it from 2x2 Stitch Art. Man, I don't know why this is taking so long to load. So it's got one of those really long Etsy titles about modern cross stitch, flowers. So basically it's a Northern Lights piece. So I bought the pattern bundle that has both the flowers and the Northern Lights, and I've started the Northern Lights one. And this is a full coverage. It's really dark, but it's a full coverage piece, so I definitely included it. This is definitely gonna show through. I'm stitching on black. It's been a little while. And this is like full on black. I found it in my stash, which is funny that because I don't remember where it came from. The label, it's actually Cosmo. So like is it Japanese floss? It's an actual, like, I have no clue where this thing came from, but it is nice to work on. So yeah. It's 3 or 4 colors worth. If it's, I've been using a hoop for this one instead of Q-snap. I've had Q-snaps kind of leave some marks on darker fabrics, so I didn't want to use a Q-snap that would mar up my fabric. But yeah. I didn't make any kind of note as far as how far along I am. Actually, yes, I did. I'm like 13%. It is in the round. But even though it's in a round, it's still considered full coverage. It's just full coverage round. Really, really enjoying working on this piece. No plans on getting it finished by a certain date or anything like that. But definitely enjoying working on it. And I will definitely be looking into buying more of this black fabric because it is nice stuff. It is a 16 count. Okay. Let's see if my photos will load now. My next piece. I started this back in November, kind of, well, December? I don't know. Been a random start. This is Witch's Cat. Artwork is from Jeremiah Kettner, and this was a Thread Geeks charted. Excuse my coughing. Even though it's been a few weeks, I still got the cough that's been annoying. What's fun about this piece is that I'm all the way up in this corner. You can start to see where the spider web is coming in at. This fabric, it's an 18 count. And it is stiff. I tried washing it to wash some of the starches out. I don't know that it did much. It can stand up on its own. I'm hoping the more I keep folding it around and it'll get worked out a little bit, soften up. Again, Witch's Cat, 18 count, 2 strands, full cross. Yeah, so I stitched 1,000 stitches, a little more than 1,000. I had barely much of a start on this. I am now at 1.52%. So definitely a long way to go, but I don't even remember now where I worked on. Definitely worked on filling this in, and then I am very much a start with a floss color, stitch as far as I can go kind of a thing. So there's a few different colors in there, but it's fun to start to see that spider web, like, you know, filling it, coming out. Alrighty, trying to keep an eye on the time here. Let's see, I started this one, gosh, I don't even remember now when I started this one. My picture is from September, so this was a Stitches So Beautiful charted design. Artwork is from Mary Berlin, and it's called Birdhouse. And again, I'm just in that upper corner, got some leaves and sky going in. I cannot wait to get to some birds. I have been all about wanting to stitch all the birds lately. It's been that way for a few years now. This one's a 16 count, 2 strands full cross. I've got one more 18, yep, my next one will be 18 count, then the rest will be 16s. I'm not to a page finish yet. Stitches So Beautiful charts are a lot, their pages are a lot smaller than like a Heaven and Earth page. So I think I may be pretty close to a page finish on this. I don't remember. 1.98% complete of the entire piece. Basically, I was stitching till I got to around the 1,000 stitch mark, a little bit more then, and then moving on to the next piece. So we've had some good full coverage stitching this month. This was my New Year, New Start meditation, artwork by Elizabeth Welker, charted by Heaven and Earth. Those colors, I love them, and I cannot wait to get stitching into those middle pieces. My color palette in, you know, my floss box, oh, it's perfection. Make sure I hold it up correctly. 18 count, 2 strands full cross, another very stiff piece of material. I'm pretty sure that both this and Witch's Cat are on the same cut of, you know, same piece of material that I cut apart to stitch the piece. So still plugging away on page 1, of course. 2.41% done on this. Lots of blues and purples. I don't remember page in terms of if I've reached kind of the bottom of the pages or not. Heaven and Earth page cuts are like 80 by 90 stitches. They're huge. I don't know where this congestion's coming from. So yeah, that is my meditation. This has been a fun one to stitch on. Now this next piece. I know I shared it in my whip parade. The last couple years in whip parades, but this hasn't seen any kind of light of day. I think I started this in 2023. And that was about all I worked on a couple times in 2023. I didn't touch it at all in 24. If you've got littles watching, you may want to have them be distracted for a minute. This may not necessarily be the most safe. It's not nudity, but it's kind of. So companions, artwork. This is a retired chart from Heaven and Earth. The artwork is Bridget Ashwood. She may be charted elsewhere. I don't remember if Bridget has any of her artwork charted by other companies, but I do know that this is a retired Heaven and Earth chart now. She's got a little dragon. Okay, so that's down. You're not going to see anything further from there if you had a distracted child or, you know, not safe for work kind of thing. Back to 16 count. We are plugging away on page 1. I do know that I have bypassed the corner, like the edge of page on the side, not on the bottom. This is confetti. It is very much confetti heavy. But I got so much accomplished. I think I started having some very light scattering over here that I just, basically, I picked a thread color and I filled in as much as I could within, like, kind of where my Q-snap was at, and, you know, without going too far away or anything. But I wish I had an easy ability to do showing pictures so I could do a side-by-side with these, because getting 1,000 stitches, especially on confetti like this, it's amazing how much progress you can actually see. Excuse me. But storage devices and whatnot, it's not easy for me to do editing. So yeah, lots of grays and purples, but it's a fun piece. I definitely see myself wanting to get back to that, especially since I got it out. Now, since I've been working on these pieces, and I do have a goal in mind of wanting to finish, what, 25 full coverage pages in 2025. I think I've got 4, maybe 5 done. I'm definitely wanting to get back to some of these pieces and get those page finishes. But kind of part of the challenge was, you know, see how many of your projects you can work on. I've got 11, I guess 12 if you count the Northern Lights piece, which I am. It's just a much smaller piece. I've got like 12 full coverage pieces, and so I think I've done 7 so far. This is another piece that never saw any light of day last year. It's my stitches. Isn't it cute? I know people are going to be wanting to see an update with her, but she is crashed out in the middle of my bed. I went in there before I started filming. That girl did not even move. So, if you want to see her, make sure to follow my Instagram, StitchingBee82. I post things and stories and whatnot. So definitely post more updates over there. I did start this, I want to say 2023, on her, I think I started it on her gotcha anniversary date, which was March 2nd. It has been 9th. Her birthday is May 2nd. Gotcha day, March 9th. I've had her for 7 years now. I can't believe it. So again, I'm just in the very upper left corner. It's not even gonna look like much because it is so dark. 16 count, 2 strands full cross. This is gonna be a decent sized piece. Quite long, maybe a little more narrow than some of the other pieces. That's working on page 1. I mean, yeah, it's so gloomy here today in Michigan. I mean, it honestly, to me, is looking like one color, but there's like 939, 823, probably like one of those browns. Would it be 37.99 or something like that? 938 maybe. There's some browns in there, but for the most part, it really looks like it's one color. The whole reason why there's gaps right here is because it's going to be another blue blending in. So I know when I picked it up, I was working, yeah, I filled in, I did bypass the page edge over here. So I've got far right of the page of this one. So I was working some in here, and then just, again, trying to get those stitches for the challenge. I grabbed a color and just started working my way down there. So yeah. Again, another page finish that I could probably get without a whole lot of effort, given similar page floss colors. This next piece, I started it last year, so you have seen it. where'd it go? I just had it too, and then I messed up. This is the mini version of Haunted House, artwork by Donna Gelsinger. I love this piece. I adore this artwork, but I also really need a haircut. Again, I'm in the upper corner. Talk about confetti. 16 count, 2 strands. Yeah, you can really see the like moonlight kind of peeking through. So what did I do on this piece? I know I was filling in like those little random ninja stitches across here, and then I really just started filling in. The other night I was working on the tree, so that is like one brown that I was able to really get a decent amount of those branches in. So yeah, I love the needle minder for this piece. Oops. Yeah, I guess that's really about all I have to say on that one. I love that piece, but oh goodness, the confetti. That's what full coverage is, though. Honestly, to get the detail, you need the confetti. Especially when you go with the mini versions, you really need some of that confetti. Alrighty, so my next piece. Excuse me, I should have grabbed a cough drop. This is my focus on a finished piece this year. I have got quite a ways to go yet. I haven't even reached 50%. This is the mini version of Sea Opal, artwork by Elizabeth Welker, charted by Hayden. Fun fact, this and Meditation, that rainbow piece that I started for my New Year, New Start. It is the same artist. So the projects, because they're both minis, are the same size pieces. The only difference is going to be that Meditation is on 18 count, whereas Sea Opal is on 16 count. So I did get a page finish. I didn't quite finish it while I was at the retreat. I was hoping to, but because I was did some diamond painting and other stuff, I didn't quite get the page finish. I'm gonna show a picture of that though, just because it's on the Q-snap and I really don't want to take it off at the moment. So that's what she's looking like. This page was so much fun to stitch. There's kind of a zoomed in picture of it. I was basically picking one color and doing kind of stripes all the way around in a bit of a star pattern, I guess, if you will. And then just kind of like slowly filling in each stripe. This was such a fun page. I do have a thread hanging. I was working on this last night. So yeah. I think this is page 8. I am currently, oh, I didn't even say. Companions, I'm at 2.8%. Brush with Magic, 4.3%. Haunted House, 5.5%. And Sea Opal is at 46%. The other night, I looked and I had like just shy of 3,800 stitches to go to hit 50%. So, maybe like 3,500 stitches now, give or take a few. I'm getting closer to that 50%, but maybe not as fast as I have on some other pieces. But this has been such a gem to work on. I really love this piece. So, the last few days particularly, I had a good bit of, because this is an all new page that you haven't seen, so obviously I've gotten quite a bit done. But really there was a portion right in here that was unstitched that I really was focusing on. I'd grab a color, stitch all the way up in this particular section, and then, you know, really focusing on staying in this particular stripey area here versus across the whole page. But yeah, that's been about where I was at for now. So, plans? What are plans? I still need to do my Stitch for Pride. I was gonna say Stitch for Stash for some reason. Stitch. Still have to do marches. I still got to do the learning for Stitch for Pride, so I haven't gotten there yet. Happy Mail Haul, that good stuff. Michelle went ahead and sent me the next project for our round robin swap. I still have one other project. Michelle sent us two. There's another one. I showed it when I got it in the mail. It's a Nora Corbett like witch or whatever to do some beading. I would like to spend some time on that. So I still have that to work on yet. But Michelle just wanted to go ahead and get the other piece to me before she ended up getting it misplaced in her own stash. So I've got the next piece, so I'm going to go ahead and share that now, but no immediate plans of, I want to do the Nora Corbett and be able to at least send those two together, and then I'll hold on to this one for a little bit before I do any more with that. This appears to have been a Patreon exclusive. I believe it may still be a Patreon exclusive. I can't find it on the Witchy Stitchers website. I just don't know if it's available still through Patreon. I'm not a member of the Witchy Stitchers Patreon. But this is the piece that Megan chose from one of the Megans from Long Distance Stitchers. If you aren't watching those gals, please go watch them. The Long Distance Stitchers, those two Megans are delightful people, and I love them to pieces. So this is Megan's piece. I don't know if that's really even focusing or not. I found the picture on Instagram, so it's the Witchy Stitcher. Moncher Caramia. I have no clue if I'm pronouncing it properly or not. I was gonna say Wednesday. The Addams family, the parents, Morticia and Gomez Addams. Why was that not there? So, I don't know what fabric this is stitched on, and now I don't remember what color it is. Bubblegum. It's a 14 count. Man, my colors look to be kind of, it's so gloomy out, but I have my ring light on and the coloring still just looks, something doesn't look, I don't know. I'm probably looking washed out. So this is where we're at here. So I'll add some more stitches to it and then get it shipped on to Danielle for her to finish it. I'll show that though once I get to stitching on it. Okay, done with the iPad. Got a little bit of haul. I did order some Market haul. They did the whole X Stitch the Rainbow. The theme this year was Night Garden. And so I went ahead and bought the floss packet, and then I got some charge for it. That was Memory. So we got Night Garden. What's cool about this is that they included a the floss list, and there's instructions that you can put a hole punch the white hole to make it a floss thread drop. So I got my stuff from Abby Top Knot Stitcher. She included a couple of the Night Garden stickers. I know Shaded Stitchery, Nuri, did the designing of all of the logos and stuff. I'm gonna hold this up. Look at these flosses. Oh, they're so pretty. So we've got Merlot. That's really a purple. It's looking gray, but it's really purple. Trying to read the numbers here. Parrot Bay. So really pretty green. Coffee and Cream. And Concord Grape. Those are the flosses. Abby threw in a couple freebies. Annie B's Folk Art. We've got Luna. And then Blue Flower irises. I do know that if you are a member of the X Stitch the Rainbow Facebook group, there's files with those freebies. Also, Michelle Bendy, murder going on outside, crows, murder of crows. Michelle released borders to be able to stitch multiples of these together. She's got multiple variations of the borders, both on they are on her Patreon, but under just like a free, you don't have to be a member of hers, but then also the Facebook group I Stitch the Rainbow. So I had to get my girls Michelle's chart. What does she call that? Stargazing. And then I got Stitchy Pros Night Owl. This one's so pretty. And then I went with Abby's Nightmare Garden. That's so cute. And then I did go with Shaded Stitchery Catch and Release. Goodness. So very cute. I do plan on using one of Michelle's borders. I have no clue which one I'll do or whatever yet. So needle minders. Gina's Unique Needle Minders. Sorry for that. She's got a Facebook group. What does her business card say? So she's got an Etsy shop that's, I think the Etsy is, yeah, it says right here. The Etsy shop is Gina's Unique Boutique. On Facebook group, it's a Gina's Unique Needle Minders. She has been releasing these little shops, like this little village. I've shown a few that I've gotten previously. I had to get more. So we've got the library. It doesn't look like it's focusing, but we've got the donut shop. So cute. And then candle shop is the other one. Try not to be so loud on that. And then we got a lace shop and a bed and breakfast. Look at that vintage car. Oh, it's so cute. So I love her needle minders in general. I absolutely, if you see me buying needle minders, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna be from Gina's shop. She has the best magnets. They're strong. Very rarely do I actually lose a needle out of them. So, and then I like the style, the flat version of these. So, the only other 2 things that I got to share, and then we're gonna call it good here, is fabric of the month, Bestitch Me. I've been thinking recently that it may be time to like put a pause on this for a little while. And then I got I think just yesterday, I got the newest. What month are we even in? March. And it's like, I don't have this in my stash. I need to stay with this for a while. So this one is actually February's. It's called Frozen Lake. So very pretty blue. If you're in the club and you haven't gotten yours, you don't want to see it, I do get the all colors. So this is going to be a bright one. It's called Radioactive. Yeah. It's that great. It is most definitely that bright. I have absolutely no clue what I'm going to put on it, but something Halloween maybe? Especially given the name. That may be calling for Halloween. Okay, looking around, that's all I got. I was actually able to keep this in about the same amount of time frame that I have been lately anyways. Just, yeah, didn't really have a whole lot of chatter, non-stitching related, I guess. I did have a book that I finished that I meant to bring over. I finished a book last week that was so good. But I don't have it here. I'm bad about giving like book reviews because I don't want to give away anything about the book. And I can't remember what the author's last name is at the moment. So maybe I'll talk about it next time. Yeah, I definitely need to get to reading more. I I choose stitching more than anything, it seems. So I'm just, I don't know if I can say reading slump, more so there's other things I would rather be doing than sitting and reading, I guess, for some reason. And if you saw the number of books that I have sitting around this apartment, you would say, get to reading. I've got a bunch of stuff around here. Okay. I need to go get something for this cough that is about to have a coughing fit. I don't want to do that on video. I've really shared about all that I have to share anyways, so I hope that I can get back on my little 2-week rotation. That's really been a good fit, just between coming down with what I came down with, and then it got to a point where it's like, I just don't feel like filming. But I had a lot to share today, so I knew I needed to get some filming done because I had so many whips to share with doing that full coverage challenge. So definitely want to get through this. I hope you're doing well. I know there's been a lot of craziness going on in the world. A couple weeks ago, I know there was some pretty nasty tornadoes. Haven't really heard much in terms of how recovery is going there. I know there was a earthquake on the other side of the world this morning. I don't know. This country is in shambles. If it's not one thing, it's another. So we're gonna get this wrapped up. I gotta get back to my desk anyways and get my the rest of my workday wrapped up so that I can enjoy the weekend. So hope you're doing good. If you want to share what you've been stitching on, I would love to know what kind of project. So yeah, how do I end these things? Stitch what brings you joy, and we'll see you again next time.